Welcome back to the garage. This is part 3 of the YFZ450 parts bike salvage, I guess you want to call it. This is where we're at now. I'll do a quick recap. While I was off camera, I put the battery in, got the battery all hooked up. Airbox is in. The new clutch cable is on. I think I showed you that already, but I'm not sure. I got the brake assembly all in. I just need to put the foot peg on. I painted the front end. I painted the push bar or the crash bar, and I cleaned up the shocks. I'm not a big sticker guy, but I got a ton of these hot rods and pivot works. I got a ton of stickers laying around. I couldn't get all the adhesive off from where the factory warning labels were here, so I put those on there, and I don't think they look that bad actually. I think they look pretty good. Anyway, those are on there. Clutch is all adjusted. What else? I think that's it for now. What I'm going to do is I painted all this stuff, so I'm going to throw all those on and come back when I'm done. Got the foot pegs on. The fender mounts in. Master cylinder reservoir is on. I put a couple of screws in this. I still need a few more screws. I only got one screw here. Still need a few more screws. I threw the front fenders on just to get an idea what it'll look like. You can see I put the shock covers on, and the front of this thing looks amazing now from what it once was. Again, foot peg, fender mount. So we're getting pretty close here. Let's see. In the mail today, I got this, which is a tank cover. I didn't have the tank cover. I only have one side cover, which is white. Somebody painted it. It's black on that side. I'm going to strip all the white off. I ordered another one. I think it's blue or blue-black. I don't know what color it is, but anyways, I'll have to paint it black for the scheme that I'm going for on this. But there's the tank cover. So I'm going to go throw this on and see what it looks like. You know what? It doesn't look half bad. Not at all. I mean, the plastic's dirty and stuff. So I guess the color scheme that I'm going with here is going to be black through here, out into the shroud, and then blue on the top. I think it'll look pretty good. And the graphics kit I ordered is blue, black, and yellow. So it'll look pretty good. And I went through my pots, my pots bin, and I found a set of grips, some yellow grips, and I think they'll look pretty good on here. I'll glue them on, but I think they'll look all right. I think those will look good. What do you think? Yeah, I think they'll look good on there. All right, so she's coming along. We got to do the wiring. The wiring's all messed up on this. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just not right here, and we got to figure out what it is. So that will be next, and then we'll flip it around and we'll do we'll work on the rear end. We'll tackle those rear brakes. I bought a new complete brake caliper kit for it, so we have to take that off, put the new one on, but we should be good to go there. And then maybe we'll pop the chain on, because it did come with a chain down there. I don't know if the chain's any good, but it did come with one. And I still got to put a sprocket on it, which I can take off that old motor, so that's not a big deal. All right, it's coming along. I guess next we'll start tackling this electricals. All right, so the first thing we're going to work on here is the fans for the, or I should say the fan for the radiator. The wires are cut on this side. I don't know if you can see it, but there's only one wire coming out of here. The other wire is broken off. And I think it's in here somewhere, but these bikes run hot anyways, and it's nice just to have a switch to turn the fan on so it stays on all the time, especially on a hot day. So I have this toggle right here, and I have the mount. I put the mount there, and this is the toggle. And we are going to use this to turn the fan on and off. And it's got holes in the bottom in case water gets behind it, it'll come out. And I think I want to mount it right there. I mean, I could basically just push this right in, right into the plastic. Kind of big and bulky. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna go with this. All right, let me get a marker, mark this thing up, set you in a stand. We'll get going. I think I'm just gonna use this as a template. Let me get some of the dirt off of here. And I think I just want to mark it pretty much like that. I think right there will be fine. And I'll make a circle. That looks pretty good. And it's right near where the wires are that control the fan anyway. So to wire it straight in will make it a lot easier. Hopefully right in the center. We'll see. Clear some of that off. I think one more ought to do it. All right, let's see how that fits. Not big enough. I think we need to go one more deeper. That should do it. All right, I think that'll do it. Peel some of this stuff off the back. There it is. And that'll work quite nice. And it's a clean look. It's not going to go anywhere. And the wires will come right from this socket right here, which is what powers the fan. And I just got to pull a positive from it, which shouldn't be that big a deal. I'll find positive here somewhere. And we'll be good to go. All right, now that the switch is in, let's start wiring. All right, so this is the thermal switch. And this turns the fan on and off. And this is the socket that goes in there, and it's missing the blue wire. And you can see, if you can see down inside of here, the blue wire broke off of that. And this is the plug that goes inside the socket that goes to the fan. And there's that blue wire. So what I want to show you is, right now I have positive, right? This is hooked up to positive, the positive side of the switch. And that's, anyways, that's 12 volts right, well, 12 volts right there. And as you can see, that's 12 volts. Now, if you look down inside of here, actually, you know what? Let me put you in a stand real quick. You can see my light is going cuckoo because it's on ground. The blue side's positive. It's not, there's nothing coming out of it, but the black side is ground. So rather than cut this off, I think I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to take the 12 volts that's right here, this red wire. I'm going to cut it off this plug. I'm just going to push the plug back in there. It's not going to do anything. I'm going to run this 12 to the switch, and then I'm going to run it back to the blue wire. and then this blue wire is connected here. And just to prove that it does work, I want to do a continuity test on that. Let me get that out of there so I'm not killing the battery. And if you hear that beeping sound, that means we have continuity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the blue side. And I'm going to touch the blue wire over here if I can. Alright, so that wire is not broken. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the power from this to the switch and then back again. And we'll leave the original plug connected. And we won't fool around with that. So let me do that now. Alright, let's test it. If I touch these two wires together, the fan should come on. Let's make sure it's blowing in the right direction. So you want it, so this fan will run both directions. You want it sucking and not pushing, because if it's pushing, it's gonna fight the air coming in as you're riding, and it's just gonna fight. So when it sucks, it's also gonna cool the engine more too. So it's going in the right direction. So all we have to do now is just run the wires over to the switch, and we are good. Oh, and we're good to go. Now I think if we shut the switch off, we get nothing. So that'll go with the ignition. I went through my drawer of electrical stuff, and I found this, which has already got protective coating on it. And I mean, the funny thing is, Japanese use green as earth and black as power sometimes, but this will work fine. And we got to run it through here over to the switch, and we're basically just going to connect these wires. Okay, this end's done. I just used a set of butt connectors and shrink wrapped them, and that should be weather tight. We should be good to go there. I'll probably tuck them back in there. Maybe I'll even tape them. We'll see. Let's go do the other side. But first, before I do that, I want to make sure that this is up and out of the way, so it's not catching on anything. So I may send it up and over before I cut it. Let's see. On this end, same thing. I just crimped them. I mean, the proper thing to do would be solder them, but I'm going to use a shrink wrap. All right, and you can see there that they are clean. Now, if I turn the key on, which is basically this toggle switch right now, I touch these together, we should have a fan. So we're good to go. All we have to do is hook it up to the switch. Spending a little extra time on the wiring part of this because I remember somebody had commented that they really wanted to see some wiring done. So that's what we're doing. And we'll do the ignition next, but for now, this will give you an idea. All right, there it is. And that will just plug right into the switch and we'll be good to go. And I got a little extra wire here just so that if you want to pull the fenders off, pull the fender up and away or something, you have that extra slack. All right, good to go. Let's just pop the switch in there lightly for now. I don't want to snap it in, but kind of just put it on there. See how the switch works. Turn this on. Did I just turn it off? There it goes. So we're good to go. That's fixed. All right, I guess next we'll have to do the ignition. All right, let's just go over what we got here. So this socket right here is for a headlight. I tested it with the switch up on the handlebars, and it doesn't have any power, low or high beam. So somehow something's wrong with that. I'm not even going to screw around with that because I don't have headlights for it anyway. So we don't even need it. Here's the other one. This is the other socket for the headlights. Again, I don't have headlights for it. Not going to worry about it. This right here is a socket for the dash. There's two lights that go up on here. I think one is the overheat light and the other one is a neutral light. If you guys look down here, there's no wire on the neutral light indicator, and I can't find a wire in the harness that would go down to it or where the wire would plug into, so that's not going on. We already know that this trips the fan, and this one probably trips the overheat light. Again, none of this stuff works, so I am not going to waste time fooling around with it because it doesn't matter anyway. So that just leaves us with the ignition itself, which is right here. And we're just going to have to wire this up. So what I'm going to do first is put you in a stand and show you the new ignition. Alright guys, I got a new ignition. Show it to you. And it comes with a couple of keys. Not a lot of money. It's the one for the bike, 4-wire ignition. Typically these are plug and play, but because somebody cut the socket off and did some half-assery there, I'm gonna have to rewire this. But first of all, I just want to check it and see how the switch works. So let me move over here. And in the off position, obviously with the key out, that's the off position. Let's see what we got here. Nothing should pass through this in the off position. Alright, that's weird. There shouldn't be anything going through that in the off position. Alright, so I don't really understand that. This shouldn't be making a connection in the off position. Alright, let's put the key in and turn it on and see what it does. Alright, these first two were the ones that were making a connection. See what they do now. They don't do anything. I'm going to try the second two. Alright, so those are on, and these two are off. Well, I don't understand that. This makes 0 sense. Because the switch, this is a four-pole switch, and when it's off, it should kill all the power to the ATV. But for some reason, power can run through this in the on position and in the on position, and power runs through these in the off and those two in the on. Now, the way it should work is you should have the power going in the top two, and then when you turn the key on, the power should go through both of these terminals and make the connection so that you feed power through to the other two circuits, because you have two power, and then you have two function wires. So this switch, I don't really understand it, why it's doing that. I don't think it's wired right. I don't think this switch is wired right. Let me pull up the schematic on this. Now it's got me wondering. All right, can you guys see that? This right here, let me zoom in on it a little bit. This right here is the switch. You either on or off. And when it's on, These two poles connect, send the power out. These two poles connect, send the power out. Nothing should be on in the off position, only in the on position. So this switch isn't wired properly for this bike. And I don't know. Let me look at the box. So this is the box, and it says YFZ450. But I think that's right there is your answer. Made in China. So, unfortunately, if somebody was to buy this and not checked it and just plugged it in, I don't think their bike would have powered up properly. So anyway, I guess that's what you get for buying a $10 switch or a $12 switch. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm just going to run the back end of this. I'm not going to ignore the top two and run the bottom two. I'm going to double up the leads on that so that when the switch is off, it doesn't do anything, and when it's on, it powers everything. And we should be just fine. All right, so these two wires right here, that's positive, and that's positive. I'm going to run these two together. I really only need one of them, but I'll run them both together so that this power wire is just not laying, jumping around in here and run the risk of it shorting out and causing problems later. So I'm going to do that now. All right, so I have the two positives together, two negatives together. We'll just test that. Show you what I mean. That's positive. Nothing there. Now, if I turn the key on, right? Let me turn the key on. The key is now on. I should have positive. Positive on this side, positive on that side, which we do. Now the only thing is, let's see if it starts, and then let's see if the key shuts it off. Works like a charm. Beautiful. All right, what I'm going to do now is I am going to solder those because I don't want them to get corroded. And I put a little shrink tube on there too. So once I get done soldering them, I will heat up the shrink tube, and then I'll wrap it all up really good with electrical tape. All right, it's all soldered up. Push this up there now. I'll shrink it, tape it, and I think at this point here, we can put the front fenders back on because we're all done with the electrical up there. I got the front on. Tank covers all mounted. Fenders are all mounted. Keys in. The wires are all neat. Come around over here. Put the key on. Just turn the key on. I have this nice clean looking switch for the fan. Going in the right direction. That's all good. I think I'm done with the front. Hey guys, I flipped it around on the lift. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to replace the rear brake, set the chain, and get it off the lift because I'm pretty sure that that's it for this thing. I got all the plastics on it. As you can see, they're all screwed down. I ordered this on eBay. I didn't show this one came in from eBay. This was like a blue metallic color. Somebody painted with, they did a nice job painting it, but it was like a deep blue purple. Looked terrible. I sanded it, scuffed it all up with Scotch-Brite, put a coat of clear black, gloss black on it, or semi-gloss. I'm gonna put graphics on this anyway, so you're not gonna see it. Blue and black graphics, you'll see. They're gonna look sweet. There's no rear grab bars, so the rear fenders are still a little loose because they don't have the support for them. As you can see on this side here, I had to order this one as well. This one came, actually no, I got this off of Potts Bike, which I'll show you guys in a future video. And it was white and it had like textured paint on it. I scuffed it all up and painted it. It's still a little rough. I might hit it with some fine sandpaper after the paint cures because again, there's a graphics going over this. I just kind of want to smooth it out so it's not that rough. But I wanted basically the edges to be black so you didn't see the white. And I think it looks pretty good. And that's pretty much it. All the plastics are on tight, keys in. So let's finish this up. Let's finish up what we have to do the rear brakes. We're gonna replace the caliper, bleed them, chain. Let me sit you in the stand and get going. Let's start by taking off the brake line here. I don't think there's any fluid in here. There may be. We'll see. Grab a bucket just in case it does leak. All right, so here's the old caliper. It looks like somebody purchased this to put on this bike maybe, and they bought the wrong one. This mount is not the right mount for this bike. Let me get the new caliper and I'll show you what I mean. So here's the new caliper, and that's the number, in case anyone's wondering. And I did buy this on eBay, and it wasn't expensive. Same place I usually get all my stuff from. And this is basically what it looks like. It comes with the block off plate. I think this was like $35. It comes with the pads and the mount. You can see the difference in mounts. This mount comes straight out. This one hooks up. This is the one you need. This one, I don't know what this goes to. This might go to a Warrior or a Grizzly, but it does not go to a YFZ. This is the mount you want. I found a couple of bolts for it in my bolt bucket. This had like Phillips heads in it. When I first took it off, Phillips head's just not going to cut it on your brakes. Dot 4. I'm going to top this thing off. I'm not going to put the cover on it. Starting to do something. Still really don't feel the pedal. Oh, she's starting to get firm now. I gotta fill this up with some more fluid. Starting to get a pedal now. Feeling like a really good pedal now. I think we're good. Alright, the chain's on. Looks good. Adjusted properly. Should be fine. I guess it's about ready to go for a ride. Alright guys, I went through all the gears. It went pretty good. I do have a leak at the water pump. It's coming through the weep hole. So I'm going to have to replace the water pump seal. Not a big deal. I won't record that, I'll do that after. I just got done washing it. It rides good, it goes good. I think at this point right now, I'm gonna put a graphics kit on it and show you guys what it looks like when it's done. I'm not gonna record it. I've recorded graphics kits in the past. If you want to see how one's installed, just visit my library, and there's a couple of videos there showing how it's done. So without further ado, I am going to graphics this, and I'll come back when it's all done. Alright guys, it's all done. Came out really nice. Graphics look good. I added a rear grab bar. I fixed the water pump leak. That's all set. And it goes really well. It's a pretty good looking bike. And I'm happy with the way it came out, considering this bike was all spare parts. Very, very nice. Alright guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing it. It was a pretty cool build. I got a lot done on it for minimal money. So hopefully you guys learned something here. How to get one of these back together as cheaply as possible if you don't have a big budget. Got some more projects coming. I actually have another YFZ450, which you guys will see shortly. The next video coming up is to rebuild on a KX 250F lower end. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for it. You'll get a notification when I post it. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed it, because I certainly did. And I'll see you guys in the next video.